So I know contractors are getting leads, especially the contractors that I work with the most. You're already getting jobs, you're getting referrals, whether it's from Angie's and Home Advisor, or it's your own website, your organic is working. Maybe you're running ads or you're getting personal referrals and you're converting some of those jobs. But a lot of guys don't realize just how much money is falling through the cracks by not giving the leads the attention that they deserve. And that's what this is all going to be about. I'm running this series where I am going to tailor GoHighLevel CRM for home improvement contractors. Now, I'm doing this for a couple of reasons, and I'm going to break down exactly what's my thinking and what's the process going to look like in this video. So you're going to see what it takes to make a generic CRM like HighLevel, although you could do it with just about any CRM, and make it fit, tailor fit what home improvement companies actually need in order to excel at handling their leads. Now, a lot of you guys, you do excellent work. Truly, you're either the best in your area or you're one of the best. You put so much pride and energy into doing a good job. But does your lead handling represent that? When people interface with your company, does it match the level of craftsmanship that you actually do your work with? If not, you probably need some sort of tailor fit lead handling system. And that's what a CRM is. It's customer relationship management software. Simple as that. So let's talk about this project and what I'm going to do with all these live streams that I'm about to run through pretty much every day until the project is done. So what is this project all about? The first thing that it is, it's going to give you a command center. For a tailored CRM for contractors, you need some sort of command center. There's three things to me that make up a command center when it comes to handling your leads. You've got somewhere that all the communication lives. And if you ever want to sell your company, this is one of those things that you really want to have in place. You want a system for organizing your whole sales pipeline. In that command center, you have a place where all the leads live. We call it the singular inbox or the consolidated inbox, where your Facebook messages, your Instagram messages, your emails, every form that gets submitted, phone calls, text messages, any lead that comes into you, it should be in one place and clearly organized. It should be straightforward when it comes to finding those leads, communicating with those leads. That's step one of the command center. Number two in the command center, you want to see the sales pipeline. Once you get those people in, they need to be where they are in the sales pipeline. And I have a whole system for that. And I'm going to show you that as part of this setup, this live stream, which is probably going to take, if I had to guess, 12, 18 days of hands-on work to get it finished, to get it tested, to get it deployed. But this sales pipeline, it needs to show you where people are in their sales process and where people are falling off or where they're going cold. Because if you can improve whatever's the worst place in your sales process, you can add so much revenue to your business. And then what's the third thing in the command center? Well, it's KPIs. It's key performance indicators. It's keeping track of all the important statistics in your business, like how many leads came in this week? Where did those leads come from? How many people are scheduled for an estimate versus actually converted to a sale? Things like that. You want to know where everybody is in terms of your sales process and what matters for the lifeblood of your business, which is new customers, more business, more sales. And so that's why I say it's a command center, because you can't improve what you don't track. If you don't realize, oh, if I just did a little bit more consistent follow-up, I would convert 1 or 2 extra jobs out of every 10. If you don't know that, you can't fix it. But if you do know it, at least it gives you a target to hit. You know as well as I do that most contractors do not have a system for getting back to leads quickly. And it really comes down to who's the first guy that shows up or talks to them and doesn't fumble the ball. If you can just be that guy, you're more likely to get the sale, especially if you're in a middle competitive market or niche. High competition markets, a lot of guys have this figured out already. But if you're kind of in the middle somewhere, then you really need to be taking advantage of speed to lead. And this CRM is going to be tailored to taking care of that opportunity, let's say. You want to be the first person that looks good, sounds good, talking to that customer. You know, you've been in the customer's shoes. You know what it looks like when someone doesn't get back to you. And you know, when you're ready to buy, that's when you make the phone call. You really need to strike while the iron's hot. The third thing that this tailoring of the CRM is warm lead follow-up, what I call the 3x3. And we'll get into that in great detail later. But if someone doesn't actually schedule an estimate with you in the first 72 hours of them reaching out, they're probably not going to do business with you anytime soon. If you got back to them quickly and they didn't book right away and you followed up with them, you know, sometimes they'll tell you, okay, I'm not ready for a couple weeks. That's fine. That's not the same thing as being cold. They know what they're looking for. But if they don't respond to you within the first 72 hours of reaching out, they're probably cold. But if you're not going out of your way to try to connect with them aggressively in those first 72 hours, you're missing an opportunity. And so tailoring the CRM looks like automating and making sure that in those first 72 hours, that lead is followed up with on every channel that they have given you to access them. Did you get their phone number? You should probably be calling and texting them every day over the first 3 days. Did you get their email? You should probably be sending them an email once a day over the first 3 days. Do you have them on Facebook or Instagram or wherever they reached out to you? You should be communicating with them on the channels that you have over the first 3 days. And there's merit also to communicating with your prospects, with your leads, with your customers on more than one channel. The more connections you have with them, the stronger the bond is. Think about a rope, right? One string is not that strong, but when you cord them together, the strength is improved, is increased. And it's not just times 3. For some reason, it's multiplicative, right? And so you want to take advantage of these different channels. It's going to make you look more like a professional. It's going to give you more opportunities to get them booked. It only makes sense in today's world to be using technology to take advantage of this opportunity. Well, let's say they don't convert into an estimate or an inspection or whatever the next step is in your sales process after they reach out to you. Well, you need to follow up with them eventually. You paid money or you earned a referral or an organic lead or whatever it is. Something you did got them to reach out to you. You don't want to lose that opportunity just because they didn't lay down right away. So you need some sort of drip system that's going to reach out to them with value, with, you know, respect and professionalism. It's not just, do you want to buy yet? It's really connecting with them with the things that matter to them. And that's why it's a tailored CRM. You can go get a CRM. Anybody can go sign up for a CRM right now and pay $100 a month maybe and have a CRM. But it's not about having the CRM. It's about it being tailored to your specific needs, to what suits the customer. And that's what we're going to go through in this whole live process. Okay, I'm going to show you how a professional does it and what matters, what's important. Why? Why would I do that? Well, I eat my own cooking. If you study guys like Alex Hormozy or any of the great business minds, you want to be your own best customer. Look at companies like Chris Kraft or Koenigsegg, like these top level companies. These guys built the stuff for themselves, the nicest boats, the nicest cars, etc. The best products come from someone who's passionate and does it with a level of excellence, with a desire or a focus on excellence. I am building my own CRM with you guys watching, with you in mind. So I'm doing this because I'm going to use it, and then you're going to be able to interact with it as a demonstration. You're going to see what it looks like when it's all done from the other side. And by the time you've seen that, you're going to want to use something like it for yourself. I need to get it dialed in. I want it working smoothly. I want it working perfectly. I'm using something like this for my customers, for my clients, for my partners right now. But I'm not satisfied with the level of excellence that it's being done with. And so I need to do it myself. It's working for now. It's helping us. We're getting more sales. We're getting more conversions. We're seeing our KPIs. All the important stuff is happening, but I'm not satisfied until it's dialed in. And so I'm dialing it in myself. I'm going to do it from scratch. Just like, if you go to a job, sometimes it needs to get torn down in order for it to be built right from the start. And that's what I'm doing. I'm tearing it down. I'm building it right from the start. Now, I need to personally test it because it's one thing for it to work in a sealed environment, in a closed system, but it really doesn't work all the way until you've really tested it. This is why I love classic cars. You can buy a new car and there's lots of great new cars, but you don't know what to expect. But with my 80s Mercedes, for instance, I know what's going to go wrong because there's thousands of them that have gone a million miles, a million kilometers, and you know what's going to fail and what's going to hold up. And so I don't have to worry about it because it's been battle tested. And that's what I want for my clients. That's what I want for my partners, is something that's been through the test. It's been hard tested and we know where the weak points are. And so we can pay attention to them and we can keep iterating and improving it until it's really dialed in, until it's failed every test and been resolved of every failing. And then the last thing is I'm documenting the process. I want to be able to hand this off to my virtual assistants, my teams, so that they have no question about what needs to be done. So doing it on the live stream, showing the whole thing, allows me to use it as a training tool, use it as a teaching tool, and you get to benefit from it. You get to see what I'm doing, how I'm doing it. Whether you use it for your own benefit or not, it still is helpful for you as a training tool. But ultimately, I am building it with one of the purposes being to document it for my team so that they know it inside and out, so that they have no question. What am I going to cover? Well, I'm going to show you what setting it up looks like. And this is its own whole thing, getting it connected to all the integrations, going through A2P verification, just making sure everything is in its place. There's so much little tiny details that if you get them wrong, you wish you hadn't. And if you do them ahead of time or you do them in an orderly fashion, it makes everything later so much easier. Again, you guys are contractors, you know how it is. If you want the job to go well, you need to know what to expect ahead of time. You want to come with the right tools. You want to come with the right materials. That's what setting it up is all about. Building it out. Obviously, that's the next step. I need to, after getting it set up, I need to build the automations. I need to build the triggers. I need to build the forms. Everything needs to be connected outside of the system, and everything needs to move properly inside the system. And so building it out is going to involve probably the bulk of the work. This is really where you go from, this is like setting up your ingredients for dinner. This is actually making dinner. And the truth is, I'm not just making dinner. It's more like a food truck where I have everything to make tacos, quesadillas, nachos, etc. And all those ingredients, a lot of them are shared across the dishes, but how you put them together makes a huge difference. And that's what building it out is going to be all about, putting it all together. Then comes the testing and the tweaking, because it's not done when it's built. You need to pressure test it. You need the quality control. And so I'm going to do all that and I'm going to show all that. And then I threw out this, and you can see that as I'm talking to you right now, I will talk about the principles behind what I'm doing. Like, for instance, in the warm follow-up that I talked about over here, on day 3, we do what's called a pullback. It's basically moving the sales pendulum in the opposite direction. At first, we're pushing. We're saying, are you ready to schedule an estimate? Do you want to get on a call? Things of that nature. We're making them offers. On day 3, you got to pull back and say, okay, I guess you're not ready. Let me know when you're ready. Or like, Is this the right number? Just doing things to elicit a response. When pushing doesn't work, you got to try pulling. And that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to share tidbits like that through the whole thing. I've been doing this for over 20 years. Okay, I'm a digital marketing nerd, and I work only with contractors. I've been doing this since I was 14 years old. I'm 39. So I guess it's 25 years now. But there's a lot of principles, and that's what everything's built on, first principles. And then the strategies get born from that. And you're going to see the tactics, but I'm going to explain the strategies and principles behind them. What am I going to showcase? What are you going to actually see? I'm going to show you what buttons to press. I'm going to show you what I'm literally actually doing. It's not just going to be logic and theory. You're going to see it in action. You're going to see it come to life. So it's not just like I'm talking to you about building a house. You're going to watch me build the house. Okay, so you're going to see what buttons to press. And that's the technical side. A lot of guys are going to be interested in that want to do it themselves. You're going to see what tools I use. And it's not just the CRM. I'm going to use AI. I'm going to use outside resources, vendors. I'm going to use certain websites as tools, like literal resources, right? And so you're going to see that so that you can put all the pieces together if you want to. I'm not holding anything back. I'm showing you all the secrets. I'm going to show you my workflow. I'm going to show you my process. You're going to see just like this. I'm going to lay it out. This is what I expect to achieve. This is how I expect to get there. And then you're going to see how I order things and how I prioritize things. That's all going to get covered. And ultimately, what's the point? I'm showing you literally everything that I'm doing. There's no holds barred. There's no tricks. There's nothing hidden. If you want to do it, you could copy me over whatever, 30, 40, 50 hours that I put together doing this, and you can tailor it to yourself. It might take you longer because you don't know the stuff like I do, but the data will be there. The information will be there. The process will be there. And if you have any questions, ask them in the comments. Come in while I'm live. Talk to me. I don't mind answering your questions. I'm here to help you guys. I feel I was put on this earth by God, and one of the specific things that he has me doing is helping guys like you, because this is what my dad did for a living. He was a skilled craftsman, and I wish he had used some of the stuff that we know now. It would have made his life so much easier and it'd make him look better. He was the best guy in our area for the work that he did, and I don't think that he got the credit for it. And I would like to see other guys not fall into that trap. So when it comes to what are we going to measure, what are we going to track, like I talked about a little bit in the command center, we're going to look at the leads that are coming in and where they're coming from, down to what tracking numbers they called, what pages on the website they visited, what ad they came in by, all that stuff. I want to know where they came from so that whatever's doing the best, and not just bringing in the most leads, but bringing in the most conversions and bringing in the best customers and the best reviews. I want to reinvest my time and money in getting more jobs from those lead sources. And so I need to be able to track where the leads came from. I'm going to track and measure the sales pipeline. Who reached out? Who showed up for the phone call? Who was interested and who pushed back? Who, asked for the price? Who actually pulled the trigger, etc. We're going to look at where the process is working and where it's falling apart so that we can plug the holes, so that we can make the appropriate adjustments. I know you want to do this stuff in your business too, but it has to start with looking. You can't fix the problem if you don't assess the situation. As I just touched on, we're going to look at where people go cold. We're going to look at where people opt out. So we're going to see where people stop responding. We're going to see where people say, stop talking to me. And we're going to figure out, or at least test, different ways of solving those problems. But you can't test it unless you know, and you can't know unless you're tracking it. And we're going to only track what moves the needle. We're only going to track what actually makes a difference. A lot of guys think, oh, we need to track everything, but that's not true. There's so much to be said about minimum effective dose. We could do everything, But this is why this is all about tailoring the CRM. High level and all these CRMs have so much that you can do, but if it doesn't move the needle, it's a waste of time and it's a distraction. And so, again, that's why I'm showing you guys this tool is powerful, but a lot of the time it's a distraction. When you drive your car, when you drive your work truck, when you bring your toolbox, do you use every tool in the toolbox, or are some only there for rare occasions? And if you could probably get away with most of your jobs with 20% of your tools? Well, that's what I'm trying to show you with the CRM. What are my expectations for this whole project? I'll tell you. The system's going to work eventually. I know that it will work because, like I say, we already are using something like this, but I am getting it further dialed in. The whole point here is making it great. It's not making it perfect, but it's improving on the knowledge that I've already got and the systems that we're already using. Now it's putting it together nicely and putting a bow on it so more of you guys can benefit from it. Okay? But it's going to be a lot of work. I know for a fact it's going to be a lot of work. I have experience with these tools. I have experience in this industry. I have a very strong opinion on how this stuff should work. It's going to be hard work. It's going to be like getting under the house and doing foundation work. It's going to be like scraping off popcorn ceilings. Every bit, if you want to do it right, takes serious attention and it takes serious effort. And that's okay. That's what a job well done takes. But this is not just for anybody to just go in and do. Doing it right takes a lot of work. I expect that even though all that is true, you can still do it yourself. If you set your mind to it and you say, this is going to change my life and I can't afford to pay someone to do it, you could do it. You could do this, but you'll have to probably devote 2 or 3 weeks of your life as a full-time job to making it work. But you could do it. And I hope that you do if that's what you see as an opportunity. But I really believe by the end of seeing, even probably the end of this video, you probably already don't want to do it because all the stuff that I've talked about. It's not just as simple as signing up for the thing and putting in your leads. It's not that simple. There's a lot that goes into even using the 20% that's going to make the 80% of difference in your business. Doing it right means working hard. It means working smart. It means going in with intention and intent and focus and purpose and not getting distracted and seeing it through to the end. And you guys are going to watch me struggle through that. And at the end of it, we're going to have something really powerful that can help you and it will help me. So that's my breakdown. That's what tailoring a CRM for contractors looks like. That's what it looks like to have the best CRM for contractors. I know a lot of guys are searching for what that means or what that is. The best CRM is the one that you use the way that actually moves the needle in your business. It's not about, is it HubSpot? Is it Service Titan? It has nothing to do with the brand. It has everything to do with going in with purpose and making sure everything does what it's supposed to do. You'll see the best CRM for contractors is the one that you use and you use it the way that matters for your business. So I hope you find it and I hope you enjoy what I share with you. Thanks for checking it out, and I will see you guys on the lives.